So let us now implement the subset sum in Java. To begin with, we have to accept the value of n. And we will also declare a value called sum and initialize sum to 0. So now we will also declare an array whose size is n. So now we will use a loop and accept the input values. Now, when getting the input values itself, we will calculate the sum. So we say sum plus is equal to array of index. Now we need to sort the elements in the array. So we will use arrays.sort. So it will sort the values in ascending order. So now we need to declare and initialize the matrix, the Boolean matrix. So what is the size of the matrix? The number of rows will be same as n plus 1. Why n plus 1? Because in the first row we are filling with 0. So we don't want to consider that. Similarly, we say sum plus 1. Because here too, in the first column, we are filling with zeros. Zeros in the sense false here. So by default, the Boolean matrix will be filled with false. Because in Java, whenever you have the primitive Boolean, by default the values are false. So we need not do anything. We can modify the locations only where it is going to be true. So because the rows are nothing but the values, so we will say row is less than or equal to n. So that is the reason we have given n plus 1 here, so that we will get the index. And also the first row we are not going to do anything. So row will start with 1. So the value will be current. So what is that particular value? It will be row minus 1. Because row is starting with 1, but in the array we have stored the values from 0. So always the index of that particular element will be 1 less than the row. So we have got the current value here. So now we have to traverse the columns. So column is nothing but the sum value. So we will say sum. Sum is equal to 0, sum less than or equal to the total sum. So because this sum should not contradict with that, we will rename this. Refactor rename. We will say total sum. Okay. So here it has been refactored. So here we will say total sum. So we are going to check if sum is greater than or equal to current. Then either one of these condition must be true. That is, either sum is equal to current, right? In that case, the current value alone can give the sum, or in the matrix, in the previous row, that is row minus 1, the sum minus current must be true. Any one of these things should be true. That is sum minus current value in the previous row. That is why we have given row minus 1. So if any one of these things is true, then we can say matrix of that current row, current column. Current column is nothing but sum. So this will be true, right? So that is when this is added, or this itself can give the sum. That is why we are marking it as true. If that is not the case, then with the help of the previous combinations, if it is false, it will be false. If it is true, it will be true. So there what we are going to say is matrix of row of sum equal to matrix of the previous row value, right? That is the previous row, same column value. So previous row, how will you say? Row minus 1. Same column, sum. So if it is false, it will be false, right? If it is true, it will be true. That's it. So at the end of this nested loop, the values will be populated. So now we have to check the last row alone. So we are going to say for int sum must be from 1, right? sum less than or equal to total sum plus plus. So this will help us to analyze all the sum. But here in our program, we need to check only for the even numbers. So we will say sum is equal to 2, and whenever we are incrementing also, we will say sum is equal to sum plus 2. That as a shortcut, we are saying sum plus is equal to 2. So now we will have a counter so that can be printed as the output. So counter is equal to 0. So now you are going to check in the last row if matrix of last row is nothing but n, that is how many numbers. Then that column we can represent using sum. If this is true, then increment counter. So finally you are printing the counter value as the output. So now let us execute the program. So based on our discussion, the output is 7 as expected. So now let us execute a program where we are giving 20 values. You can see that it is finishing very fast. So we have given a third example also. So here the output is 11. So the possible combinations are like this. So there are totally 4 plus 3, 7 plus 3, 10 and 15 combinations are possible. But the output is 11 because some of the combinations yield the same value. Because 1 plus 7 and 3 plus 5 gives 8. Okay, so the only one is considered. Similarly, 1 plus 9 is same as 3 plus 7. Similarly, 3 plus 9 is equal to 5 plus 7. Similarly, 7 plus 9 is equal to 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. Okay, so 4 additional things have been eliminated and hence 11 is coming as the answer. So based on our discussion, please solve the program. Thanks for watching.